Reroll a dice. That could be good, but which one of these is the best? I'm going to get rid of General Staff.
That's what I would have done too. That was my best card.
Yeah, there's a bunch of nice ones out there, but that one could have done an awful lot of damage at the right time.
Like I said, great hand, really. That was a pretty sucky hand, actually. Except for the one card you took.
No, you had some okay ones in there. But they cycle back quick, don't they? Okay, discarded cards, supply check. Now, the west front is out of supply.
I just thought of another reason to make them out of supply, Tim. Yeah. By making them out of supply and not attacking them, you don't get them back to build up your line to defend with.
Yes. I honestly think the best thing to do is to put them out of supply, because you can make up the ground quite quickly. So even though you're holding them there, you're thinking I'm not taking ground, you can make up that once they're dead. You know, with the movement allowances of the the Panzer units, they can speed across this map pretty damn quick, as we shall see. Okay, so first of all we check the phasing player, which is me. I got one guy out of supply. None of the Germans are out of supply. Supply in this game is very simple. 4 hexes to a city you control or to the map edge. So Riga for the Germans is going to open up the whole of the north, but he doesn't have Kiev yet. And the question is, am I going to contest Kiev? Okay, so do I get any guys? Return 1, no guys. Great. Alright, so I gotta buy back my dead. So southwest front comes back for free. And it's going to cost me 2 cards to get the other 2 fronts back. Well, that's 1 card. I can't play that at the moment. Ooh, I got a tough decision to make. With that one I will bring back the northwest front. And then, this is in my organization phase, I am going to play Allied Lend-Lease, which will allow me to draw 2 cards.
You commie bastard!
Thank you. The reason why I announce what I'm doing is there's an ability in this game to nerf the last card played and that sort of shenanigans, so I'm sort of telegraphing what I'm doing to give my esteemed opponent the opportunity to react.
With what? You've seen my hand. What am I going to react with? I will play this card for no reason other than just to do it.
Okay, then I'm going to play one of the cards I just drew, this one, because I've got a great card for later on in the game. So that's 2 cards I've discarded. I can bring back on both my destroy units.
Boo!
Yay! So I got 3 units to bring back on. They can come on in a city, even in a ZOC. am I going to fight for Odessa? Hell yeah.
Are you just going to leave those guys in Siberia? I'm okay with that, Tim. I mean, you know, Siberia is lovely this time of year.
I'm trying to work out where to place them.
Those Siberian chicks, very, very cold.
Southwest front is going to go into Odessa. Central front is going to move down one west to get a line of Zocs there. Bryansk front is going to move west, west, and then northwest. So I got a nice line of Zocs in the south. Because don't forget, the mech infantry still move as infantry. Reserve front in Moscow will move. Actually, no, I won't do that. I want to use that mech. Northwest front will come in on Kalin, and then they'll move one up and then one west into that mountain. That's their 3 movement points. I still have a little bit of hole in the centre, don't I? Okay, that front will be, the south front will come in at Smolensk and will stay where it is. I should have a pretty solid line of Zocs now. The only question I have is, what do I do with the reserve front that is stuck in Moscow? Now, one thing I think of is I could try a forward defence. I could bring a unit, say brought on the front in Smolensk, brought it on in Minsk, moved it forward 1, or moved it due west 1, and that might allow me, because if it's out of supplied, it still gets 3 movement points. The trouble is, you've got plenty of cards, you could probably do a nasty counter blow on me. So the idea, just to let you know what I'm thinking, possibility, I could get the west front out of its predicament, and it would be something like this. I bring on the south front in Minsk. It then moves forward 1 movement point, thus negating the Zoc of the 4th Army and the 9th Army into there. Now, this is something that I only really saw when I was reading the FAQ to sort of see the possibility. West front still has 3 movement points even though it's out of supply. I could then grab it and then move it back, temporarily overstacking, but you only do stacking at the end of movement. Then I can move it into Minsk, and then I could say move it up to there, thus extricating the west front from its out of supply status. That's what I could do, and the question is, am I just sacrificing 1 unit for another one because you're going to pound on the south front instead of the west? I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to do that. I've never tried this before, but I'm going to try and do a forward defense. Okay, but you understand what that allowed me to do? Move through my own unit because it negates the Zoc for movement and supply.
Okay, do you want me to give you a hint on what you need to do if you're going to do that?
I'm still going to have to move the reserve front over to Smolensk to fill that gap in. Because you're still going to hammer me. It's just a matter of where my guys die. Because this could cause me to lose both of them instead of only one. Because the 4th Panzer Army could come down south and cut off both. Couldn't it? So then I'd have to move somebody out, which I can't really get close enough, can I? I'd have to move the northwest front, bring it on in Smolensk, and then move it up to say there to give me a line of Zocs. But it's still very dodgy, isn't it? Yeah? Is that what you're pointing out?
Yeah, that was what I was going to point out. You had to do something like that, or even go one hex south, southeast. No, one hex directly west of there. Then use the river.
So, but this is in the open. I don't like to be in the open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but on the other hand, you're behind a river, so either way, it works the same.
Well, because your armor bonus.
Armor bonus, but you're behind a river because I can't get across the river. I think it's 6-1. I think you almost have to go. You could go either way, Tim. But if you go back,
forward defense. I am going to try this. I'm going to try it because we found in this game the Germans are just as vulnerable to a well-timed encirclement as the Russians are. I can't find the damn marker. The only bad thing about this is you can counter blow against the that south front, and that's not going to be good for me. Okay, let's try it.
Alright, that's your move?
I mean, I'm just trying to think if I want to do something with the reserve front as well. Reserve front and move across to Smolensk. I'm thinking of bringing the Leningrad front out as well. No, that'll do. Let's try it. So that's my movement phase. Now combat phase. I will declare all voluntary combats, and I have done so. Would you like to place any counter blows? Now, even though there's a disorganized marker on the south front, I cannot voluntarily attack, but you can force me to attack with a counterblow.
It would be a 1 to 3. Then the counterattack would be a 2 to 1.
Yeah, the low odds are quite funky in this game.
No, it won't.
Okay. Interesting, because I would have done that.
Yeah, but the most likely result is either nothing or that you get to retreat, and I don't want you to retreat.
True. Well, I can't remember what card you have, whether you had some ability there to do something. Exchanges are not good for you, definitely. And a retreat is a good possibility, yeah. Okay. That's the end of movement. Done combat. We resolved removals. Okay, so we're gonna recheck supply and do a marker removal. And one more down the south. Okay, that's the end of turn 1. We are into turn 2. Bounce game turn marker. This is the last turn before mud. Events, victory, nope, no sudden death. Discard down to 2 cards, my friend. And then you draw 4.
And I will now draw 4. Alright, let me look at these. Interesting. Okay, I got it. So after my cards, go ahead.
Okay, you got your cards. We do a supply check on both sides, phasing player first.
Yeah, nothing
all
there.
Good. And don't forget the range of 4. Because
and where do you bring your reinforcements in your cities? So that second army comes on in Königsberg?
Königsberg or the map edge.
Are they on the first hex on the map head? That doesn't make a difference. Never mind. Okay, I brought my guy in too. So
okay, it's the organization
I cannot
phase.
Right, I can't do this the first 2 turns, is it?
You cannot spend any cards to reinforce the 11th Army in the south, no. There is an event that overrides that, but you cannot do that, I think, until turn 6, which is the beginning of 1942.